mynews.studio.
In India's rhino reserve, not a single rhino has been poached in 2 years. How did they manage that?
That's quite a milestone. It really makes me wonder, has something shifted in the way conservation is being approached globally? And just for context, today's date is January 28, 2026.
Let's start with the scale. Rewilding isn't limited to a few parks or reserves anymore. What we're seeing now is a coordinated global effort. Vast regions in Africa, South America, Asia, and Europe are undergoing active restoration. So what's behind this momentum, and why is it happening now?
There's been a real shift from just preserving what remains to actually restoring what was lost. For example, in Europe, the Dauphiné Alps are seeing forests return. Rivers in Sweden are flowing freely after long being blocked. And in Portugal, wildlife corridors are reconnecting habitats that were once cut off. Can I jump in? Why is this connectivity between landscapes so important?
That connectivity lets species move and adapt, which boosts their chances to thrive. The Greater Koa Valley Corridor is a good example. Animals gain access to more territory, which increases genetic diversity and resilience. But it's not just Europe. In Honduras, projects like Inga alley cropping are restoring farmland and capturing carbon at the same time. The Inga Foundation, for instance, is working with 600 families, showing that restoration can fit alongside people's livelihoods.
You mentioned livelihoods. How do these restoration efforts directly affect local communities and their economies?
The impact is significant. In India and Venezuela, indigenous communities are leading restoration using traditional knowledge. As lands recover, they support sustainable agriculture and ecotourism, which builds economic resilience. Take Scotland's Afric Highlands. Nature-based tourism and new land uses are opening up real opportunities for rural economies. But can these nature-focused approaches really work hand in hand with economic development?
The data suggests they can. The Belmont Estate in the UK restored wetlands using natural grazing, so cattle and ponies actually helped bring back biodiversity and reduced flood risks for nearby towns. That's a very direct benefit for climate resilience.
And technology is making a difference too. NASA's Act Green project uses open-source habitat maps to guide where restoration will have the most impact. It's a data-driven, global approach, but animals play a role as well. Keystone species like quolls in Australia and bison in North America are returning. Why are keystone species considered so central to these efforts?
Keystone species shape entire ecosystems. When you reintroduce them, you often see a chain reaction. Plants recover, water cycles improve, and other species benefit. For example, the Olsen Bison Rewilding project, bringing bison back, rejuvenated the entire landscape.
And let's not forget the ocean. Marine rewilding is gaining pace. Seagrass meadows and whale populations are starting to recover in several areas, which helps both biodiversity and carbon storage in the seas.
Policy is keeping up as well. In England, animal welfare reforms have set a new bar, and initiatives like Wilder Parks are making rewilding a mainstream part of conservation. Do you think integrating policy will be the real turning point?
It's crucial. Without supportive policies, large-scale restoration just isn't possible long-term. The recent Rewilding Our World conference made that clear. 286 organizations are coordinating, sharing best practices, and syncing policy with science.
So the big question, is ecosystem collapse inevitable, or can we actually turn things around?
The evidence shows it's reversible. We're seeing restoration projects succeed on every continent, with clear benefits for both nature and people. But the pace needs to pick up. This year's theme, Choose Our Future, is all about how quickly we can spread these successes.
So, what comes next? Is the priority more funding, better policies, or deeper community involvement?
All three. Funding models like the Colossal Species Reintroduction Fund are backing new projects. When communities lead, projects last. And policy integration brings restoration into the mainstream. The pieces are in place. The question is whether we can scale them up in time.
And for listeners, How can people connect with or support these efforts?
There's plenty to do. Supporting local conservation groups, advocating for science-based policy, or even joining citizen science projects can all help. Every action, however small, matters.
That's a lot to process. To sum up, rewilding is restoring ecosystems, reviving species, supporting rural communities, and helping us adapt to climate change. It's a global movement, and it's gaining speed.
Look at India's rhinos, the comeback of whales and seagrass, policy changes in England. They all show that restoration is possible. It's not just about the environment. It's a path to a sustainable future.
Thank you for joining us as we explored rewilding efforts around the world.
Thanks for listening. This episode was powered by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.